bear with me, I have a lot of information compiled into one little thing. Born to a hardworking mom and dad, simple and devoted Mennonites, as loving and kind as can be, Gordon was number 4 in this brood of 7, Jimmy, Jerry, Evie, Nancy, Kurt, and Donna the baby. Growing up, this family of 9 lived off the land and raised the meat they ate. Homegrown vegetables, hand-sewn clothes, Gordon especially pulled his weight. Hunting game in the backyard for Mom's rabbit and squirrel pie, working tirelessly in the yard, Sundays at Souderton Mennonite, and big dinners with the cousins, Dad was a 4-H diehard. When the family made their big move to the farmhouse from Sumneytown Pike, little Gordon pedaled back to the old house on his trike. He was a busybody from the start, climbed to the top of the barn roof at age 4, his sisters do recall. Mom said, "You got yourself up there, you can get yourself down," not even worried that he'd fall. Yes, he got into trouble once or twice, as most little boys tend to do, like the time he pushed Nancy in her baby carriage and then let go. Down the hill she flew. The boys spent most of their time in the barn, the girls in the garden and cleaning the homestead. Gordy still found time to be a mischievous brother, missing the bucket and squirting cow's milk at Nancy instead. In 9th grade, Gordy's dad asked if he'd like to continue with school or run the farm. Gordy didn't have to think twice. He quieted his principal with a, "You can talk to my dad," ignoring his advice. Wheels was his thing, Sister Jerry recalls. Tractors, lawnmowers, cars, and bikes. His only speed was fast. At age 10, he gave his sisters and Mom driving lessons in the fields. His list of students is now vast. Then one day, a leather jacket-wearing Jersey girl caught his eye at a basketball game. Days later, he walked up to her and said, "Hi, Marilyn." He'd never forget reading her embroidered name. He'd drive by her house, playing the wolf whistle in his 53 Ford. Her mother didn't seem to mind, and by his family, she was so adored. Marilyn was fancy for a 15-year-old and did bad things like wear shorts and makeup, but Gordy knew she was the prettiest thing he could ever have dreamed up. Despite the Aldefers' plain ways, they loved her just the same. Donna said, "They don't make them like her. This Marilyn is still quite the dame." Times were hard for these two. They started off with nothing and worked long hours to get by. She did anything for Gordy, adapting to the Pennsylvania Dutch life, even making him mincemeat pie. They couldn't have been more opposite, but they were committed to making it work. They loved each other deeply, and the laughter they shared was a perk. When little Lisa was born, so was Gordy's soft spot. He was overprotective just a bit. Marilyn made Aunt Donna feel important, inviting her on Wildwood vacations to babysit. Then Troy came along. God blessed him not just with a son, but a lifelong best friend and sidekick. They toiled away in the garage being mechanics, teaching Troy what made things tick. Family road trips to New Jersey, he made the kids a bed in the back of the Buick with some blankets and an old board. He was always practical and thinking on his feet, making it work despite what they could afford. They had an active social life, playing pool with the Dells and picnics with the neighborhood crew. All the kids playing baseball in the yard, Gordy thoroughly enjoying a PBR or 2. This meat and potatoes man worked long days, and Marilyn served dinner late. Roast chicken, roast beef, or ham, it didn't matter, as long as mashed potatoes were on his plate. His first motorcycle was a Harley, then he moved on to BMW. Fine-tuning bikes in Harry Hunter's garage was among his favorite things to do. He was a hands-on dad, an avid athletic supporter, from gymnastics meets to baseball games. He'd cheer loudly and carry on at the refs, which embarrassed Marilyn, as she claims. Weekends were for motorcycle rodeos and riding, Troy with Mom and Lisa with Dad. Memories will always keep. With Lisa's hand slipped in Dad's belt loops, it didn't take long until she was asleep. His kids will never forget the life lessons he taught them and childhood memories playing outdoors. Sundays were for church and turkey and rice soup at the Astor Diner, their one day without chores. Gruff on the outside, but a big teddy bear on the inside, Janie hit the nail on the head. Chats with her father figure at the kitchen table until 1 a.m. His impact on her life was deep, she said. Fellow farm boy Matt had Gordy's respect and admiration from the start, a loving, faithful, and hardworking man, the only one worthy of his little girl's heart. Then suddenly little Troy grew up, sweet Kelly Ellie was the one, little did Gordy know the excitement ahead, 2 granddaughters and 3 grandsons. When they became empty nesters with some money to spare, they set out to see new sights. Alaska, Bermuda, Canadian Rockies, Cancun, Colorado, Florida, and Hawaii were some highlights. The Grand Ole Opry in Tennessee with Phil and Janie, Gordy beaming from ear to ear. Yes, country western music was the sweet sound he longed to hear. Growing up, Nikki, Lindsay, and Jay walked over to splash in the pool and eat grilled cheese, how every summer was spent. They even learned how to pack a pipe, but never did figure out what Pop-Up's Dutch sayings meant. He was always putzing around the house and yard, looking to put his WD-40 to use, flexing his muscles shirtless or in a cut-off flannel, drinking his apple juice. Dalton and Chase loved their time with him, four-wheeling trails and scoping out spots to hunt. The deer in Bradford County didn't stand a chance, with Pop-Up's hunting expertise at the forefront. He took great pride in a lot of things, not to mention his cars and bikes, keeping them in pristine shape. He taught himself how to fix just about anything, with a little help from duct tape. Everything had an order in place, no tangled cords or wires could be found. He kept his garage organized, to say the least. His attention to detail was profound. He knew the value of $1 and was no stranger to trash picking, lawnmowers and grills, and any old item that could use fixing. Gordy learned to tolerate Marilyn's gallivanting around town and girl time, nail appointments, lunch dates, and just about anything with Esther, her partner in crime. They enjoyed dining out with friends, a tradition every Friday night with the happy hour group. Town Hotel, Springhouse Tavern, and the Submeet, Gordy always ordered soup. The 61 light blue Buick convertible was his reward for turning over every paycheck to Dad until age 21. The Buick remained part of the family for many years and played a special role in Lisa, Nikki, and Lindsay's wedding fun. He was Talmanson's fire truck driver for 15 plus years, on instant alert at all hours of the night, taking care of the graveyard near their house and plowing snow for the township. Being busy was his delight. He was no stranger to a hard day's work, delivering and selling meat in his early years, and later bringing milk to local daycares. The kids made it worthwhile. They were so happy when Mr. Gordy showed up at nap time, they'd all sneak a wave and smile. He had a way with little ones. To the great-grandkids, Pop Gordy, he was lovingly called. He enjoyed watching them play, and every once in a while, onto his lap they crawled. Each coming night, as Jay and I lay in bed, our covers the puppy loves to hog, we'll laugh and smile, knowing Pop-Up still thinks a house is no place for a dog. Yes, he loved to tease us, but his love and pride for his grandson showed through. We are forever honored to share an anniversary on July 22nd, both having said I do. His suffering is no more, brought home by the Lord's grace. We can be rest assured he is looking down with a smile on his face. We will all miss him dearly, that's not up for debate, and we'll look forward to the day he greets us with a, "Yep," at Heaven's Gate.